Good morning, family. Welcome to today's Lessons for Life. Today is Thursday, August 27, 2009, and today we're reading in 2 Kings chapter 19. And what I want to share for Lessons for Life is just something that really stood out to me. One or two verses where it just stood out to me. So I know this is not the overall lesson from this chapter, so really I encourage you to read the entire thing through for yourself, see what you get from me, email us, and we can put it on the blog. But what stood out to me was when Hezekiah went to go pray to the Lord, and he enters into the temple, and he starts off by saying, "O Lord, that dwellest between cherubims." And even from what we've been learning, how everything was laid out in the temple or the tabernacle, he's really addressing the Lord that is, I would say, confined in that place. And from my point of view and how I think and how we've even been talking and sharing with some other Lessons for Life, that God is not really just in one location, and that's how present day we think about it, and I think about it. I want to share with you that God is not just in one centralized location, but He can be wherever you are, wherever you call upon Him, that He can meet you right there. So that was something that definitely had stood out to me, and even as we think ahead as we go into the teachings of Jesus Christ, then Jesus didn't have to run into a temple in order to speak to the Lord, but really He realized and recognized that wherever He was, He can speak and the Lord will hear Him. And that's how we have to think about it too. So when I heard Hezekiah say this, and it really kind of stood out to me and was not awkward, but it just really stood out to me, I should say, because I don't think like that God is just in one particular location, and this is the difference between us living now versus in Old Testament times as well too. But this is something I want to make sure that we're all aware of, that God is not in just one location. He's not just at your church that you might go to, or at wherever you might go to seek Him, but He can be wherever you are. So if you're in the middle of the desert and there's nobody else around and you pray to God, then you know what? God will still hear you where you are. So like I said, this is what stood out to me, and I definitely wanted to bring it up and share it in Lessons for Life. Just something that I noticed Hezekiah say and do, but how in our present day time we really need to think about and realize that God is wherever we are and wherever we call upon Him. So with that, that's today's Lessons for Life. Create yourself a wonderfully blessed day today, and we'll talk again tomorrow.